2024 is coming to an end, so what better than to just do a little recap and share with you my favorite tech of 2024. Now, in the description below, you're going to find the different chapters of this video, but then you'll also find additional videos on these products and links to where you can purchase these products. The very first product has to be by far my favorite, which is the M4 Mac Mini. I have the base model with the 256 gigabytes of storage. I didn't go to expand the storage through Apple simply because I use external storage as my solution, and that's what I'd recommend to anyone. But not only is this computer powerful enough to handle things that I do, like video edits, photo edits, but it's a great computer for an everyday user like you. At $600 or $500 if you're a student, you're getting so much performance out of this, so much capability, and this is going to be a machine that'll be able to stick with you for a long time to come. Now, if you're someone that's thinking that, well, why don't I just buy the iMac, which has the built-in screen, you get the keyboard, you get the mouse, and it has the M4 chip. Well, for that, I would say, like my dad recently, he's been wanting to change his iMac out, and I gave him this same suggestion just the other day. The beautiful thing about having the Mac Mini as just your standalone computer is further down the line, right now, I might go out and buy a different monitor or go out and buy a new keyboard or a trackpad or anything. Like if you look at this desk setup, yes, the desk has changed, but overall, my monitor, my keyboard, my trackpad, my headphones, all the peripherals that go alongside the computer have never changed, even though the computer was first the M1 Mac Mini, then the M1 Pro MacBook Pro, and then the M4 Mac Mini. So if you're looking for like a reliable computer that you can maybe build around as time progresses, this is a great option. And as for storage, go with an external SSD. That's what I do. That's what I did with my MacBook Pro. That's what I did with my original M1 Mac Mini. Because all that money that you're going to spend on storage, eventually you're going to run out of storage, right? So you might as well just go the external route, not pay Apple all that money, and use that money for things like getting a monitor, a keyboard, etc. Now, my next favorite product also lives at this desk, and that has to be the AirPods Max. Now I know that this year they only got USB-C and a bunch of new color options and everything, but I've had them since they launched. And what I love about these is they've been reliable, they provide great audio quality, and when I travel, that's the only time that I take these away from here because I love the noise cancellation they provide for those noisy airplane rides. These headphones by far have been a workhorse for me at this test setup, and I absolutely love them. And when they first came out, the price was a big deal, but fast forward a couple of years, the price pays for itself. When you are often buying tech products, sometimes the price can be a big factor, but if you're keeping things for the long run, it pays for itself. Like this monitor was not a cheap monitor when I bought it several years ago, but if you look at all the work that I've gotten out of it, it's been a great addition to just doing all the work I need to get done. So AirPods Max, if you've been holding back, definitely pick these up. Now, my next favorite product also happens to be just sitting at this desk. That's the M4 11-inch iPad Pro. Now, I've been an iPad mini user and I absolutely loved it just for its portability, its size, but with the updates that Apple made to the iPad mini 7, it just wasn't enough for me to move forward. So instead, I went for the 11-inch iPad Pro. And what I like about this is that because its weight has been reduced, like I've got this like flippable Pitaka case on it, but if you're just handling the iPad by itself, it's so light and this size is still comfortable enough to where you can use it as an iPad because that's how I see an iPad first. Now this with the M4 chip is such a capable machine, but I mean, just how thin this is, it's absolutely amazing. I really like the thin and light design. So it helped make that transition from a smaller iPad to this one easier because initially when I was testing out the iPad Pro, I went for the 13-inch because I was like, okay, maybe if I get the bigger screen and I do all the things that I can do on my MacBook, it'll be a great replacement, but that's not the case. I can do majority of the things I need to do, but for my computer needs, I have this dedicated desk setup with the M4 Mac Mini, and this is basically my portable work, gaming, all in one type of solution, and it does it exceptionally well. And by far one of my favorite things about this iPad has been the tandem OLED screen. It's been absolutely a joy to use, whether it's for gaming or video content. And I will add one thing. If you're looking at nano texture, I looked at it in the store. I did not like it. It gives you the same kind of look that this matte screen protector is going to give. So if you try to, it just handles the reflections really well. So this is like 20 bucks, and I have this also on my phone and any other device I use. So go for this instead of the nano texture. You'll be really happy. So iPad Pro 11-inch for me is the right size, and honestly, this thing can be a computer. It just really depends on what you do with a computer. My next favorite product is one I actually use with the iPad, and that's the Gamesir G8 Plus. Now, they do have two variants of this. The G8 Plus is the Bluetooth one, and you can use it wired. Like, I always plug it in directly into the iPad, so I don't have like any latency. But the good thing about the Bluetooth one is that it works with Nintendo Switch. You can have it work with your iPhone. You can also have it work with an iPad Pro. But let's say if you have like a USB-C iPhone, then they also have a USB-C variant to it. So that one directly plugs into your phone and it runs off the power of the device. Now, what I personally really liked about this controller is like I use Xbox, so it has like that similar feel of an Xbox controller, except that it's extended further out. So I really like that like proper controller feel. And with the G8 Plus, the cool thing is I used to actually be able to put my iPad mini right into the controller. So it's big enough to handle the iPad mini. So if you're someone with the iPad mini 6 or a 7, it's actually like the perfect controller because you put the iPad in the middle and now you've got a really good gaming experience. So if you like gaming, definitely check out the Gamesir G8 or G8 Plus, depending on which one's going to suit you. My next favorite product is one I keep in my backpack, and this is a 25K power bank. It's made by Iniu. And what I like about this is like, just look at the size, right? It's like as wide as an iPhone, but it's thicker, obviously, because of the battery capacity. But my favorite thing about this is the fact that it's got two USB-C and one USB-A. But the USB-C, one of them does up to 100 watts. So not only can you charge an iPad, you can charge a MacBook. Then the second one does 45 watts, and then you've got the USB-A, which does a total of 15. Now, when I went to test this, I had a day where I was using my iPhone 16 Pro for looking at notes, and then my iPad I had connected to the Magic Keyboard. The iPhone 16 Pro got down to 29%, and that's when I plugged it in and charged it up to 80%. And when my iPad got to like around 32%, I believe, I let it charge all the way up to 80%, and this thing still had 53% battery. So I love the fact that I can literally have this cycle repeat twice before I probably run out of power on this. And by far my favorite thing is just the size of it. So I keep it in one of the small pockets in my backpack, and I know that anytime I need charging on the go and I need to do it for several devices, this will be able to handle it. Now, my next favorite product is the one that's on my ring finger, and that's the Ultrahuman Ring Air. The only time it's on the opposite finger is at nighttime when I use it for sleep tracking. I've really enjoyed this, and this is why I got rid of my Apple Watch Ultra. I actually traded it in a couple months ago simply because this is just a simple way. Like, I don't even realize this ring is here. I mean, maybe if you don't wear rings, you'll realize that you're wearing a ring. But I was so used to wearing my wedding band all the time that now I just wear this and I feel like I'm not really even tracking my stuff, but I am. So this really makes it easy to track all your metrics, but without getting in the way of like the Apple Watch and all of its notifications and all that stuff. So I found that after I switched to this and started tracking my health with it, I really didn't have a need for the Apple Watch. because prior to that, I literally wore the Apple Watch all the time except for when I was sleeping. So if you're looking for a good way to track your health metrics, track your sleep, then definitely look into this. There are other ring options, out of which I've only tried the Ring Gen 2, but by far my favorite has been the Ultrahuman Ring Air. Now, last but not least is going to be the iPhone 16 Pro. Now, when I was trying to make this decision, I was doing it between the Pro and Pro Max. But because these devices have gotten heavier and me coming from a 13 mini, the 16 Pro was the right choice. But if you're on any of the recent iPhones, you don't need to make this upgrade. Just wait for the 17s because it's been several years since we've seen a major change. So with the 17s, there should be a lot of changes coming, and hopefully it'll be enough to make a jump and really feel like you made an upgrade. Don't get me wrong, I really like the ProMotion display, especially because I didn't have that on the Mini, but where this phone and any of the Pro phones really shine is with the cameras. ProRAW, ProRes, you gotta be taking advantage of those. And if you're not, then you're just good with the standard model. This just blends in perfect with my camera. I can take great photos on the move, and I've really done a lot with the cameras, and I really enjoy that. This for me was like an upgrade out of necessity. Like I really wish I could have held on to my Mini one more year, but it was just showing its age. But I do enjoy the upgrade. And what I'm really curious to see is next year with the 17s, if they get lighter, I think I'll finally be able to get a Pro Max. So there you have it. Those are my favorite products of 2024. Some of them I've recently upgraded to and I've just really enjoyed them. I would also like to know, what have you recently upgraded to, or what have been your favorite products for this year? Tell me in the comments down below. Thank you so much for your time. If you enjoyed this, please do give it a thumbs up because it'll really help me out. And like always, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.